Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I have just finished up at the gym wearing my activewear. I literally this used to be so like big on me, and now it's literally so tight on me. But I mean, these things happen when you put on weight. So I'm like 8 to 10 kilos up. Weighed myself this morning and literally had a heart attack, but my anxiety was so bad this morning because of it. Hopefully you can hear me because it is a little bit windy. But yeah, today was a real struggle for me. I did start to film this video the other day, but it just wasn't how I planned, so I'm going to restart it right now. So I'm going to sit down and have a chat to you guys about what happened post-comp, during prep, my mindset, my blowout, because I definitely blew out. I didn't stick to a reverse diet. I currently don't have a coach, which was my decision, which I won't get too into, but I will explain briefly. So yeah, I'm just going for a walk to get some steps in to clear my mind and to feel a bit better. I'm trying to go for 10,000 steps again every day because I really slacked off on my steps, and I've been trying to get like 5,000 to 6,000 recently, but I need to get some more steps in. So I did my Townsville show, did my Brisbane show, and then as you would have seen, I went out for dinner. So I went out for dinner on the Sunday night, the last night of my show, my Brisbane show, and then for like the Monday and the Tuesday I didn't track anything, didn't weigh anything, just ate as I pleased. And it's the weirdest thing ever because I literally could not stop eating. Like, my stomach was physically so full, but I just kept eating and eating and eating. Like, I was told by my coach and by other people that it's because your body is like preparing for the next time you have to starve it. So because essentially in comp prep you are like starving yourself and depriving yourself of food. So that was really hard because I just wanted to keep eating and eating. And then I got to a point on the Monday, actually I didn't feel sick, like I was gonna vomit, but I just felt so uncomfortable because I was so bloated and full, and I was like, I need to stop. But I still ate so much food on the Tuesday. My arm is literally going dead. So yeah, and then the Wednesday I was like, nope, I'm gonna go back to dieting. So my coach gave me macros and calories to work off. He did give me a program, but like a diet plan, but it had a lot of foods that I was eating while I was in prep, and I just wanted a change. I just wanted some normality back in my life. I didn't want 400 grams of potato and 400 grams of sweet potato because I didn't need to have foods that were full of lots of volume. So I flex dieted for probably 4 days, and I was literally got to the point where I was stressing so much about the weight of the food. So in comp prep you have to weigh your food, and it has to be to the gram. Like, you can't be a gram over, because a gram over every single day, every single meal will fuck up your whole, it'll like screw up everything. So you have to be so on point, and I was so used to that when I was weighing my food and it was a little bit over, I was like, no, and I would take it off and then it would be under, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, I was just so on track about it, and I didn't need to be, because obviously I wasn't in prep, I wasn't dieting, so I didn't need to be so strict. But because being so used to that, it's really hard to get out of that mind frame and that consistency, I guess you would call it. So I really struggled with that. And then obviously when I weighed myself, so I put my body on the scales and weighed myself, I'm just gonna keep doing laps, I had gained weight. So keeping in mind that when I was competing, so I weighed myself 2 days before my Brisbane show, which was my lowest weight in ever, which was 46.5 kilos. I didn't weigh myself the day before or Brisbane show day, but 46.5 kilos is really low. I'm 22, so that is super underweight for my age group. My height, not so much, but yeah, that was scary. I literally haven't weighed that much since I was probably 12 or 13, so like 10 years ago. So coming to deal with my body weight going from 46.5, and then I went up to like 49, and then within like a week and a half I was around the 50, like 49, 50 kilos. So mentally that was really hard. And then I started getting chest pains, which I'll do a whole video dedicated on that, but I ended up in emergency. I had to get a bunch of tests done, which yeah, I'll film a whole video on that because the story is just like kind of crazy, but to think that I ended up in hospital because of prep and because of like the aftermath and stuff is like scary. So yeah, that happened, and then from like a few days before I was admitted to hospital, and like a week later I literally cried every single day. Hated my body, hated how I looked, hated how I felt. I was like, I've ruined everything. I dieted, I prepped for like a year in total, including my mini bulk, and I've just like ruined my whole body, my physique. I hated everything, and I was just in a really, really bad mental state, which was really, really hard for me to deal with because I'm like a perfectionist when it comes to doing things. So like prep, I was so on point. Didn't have a cheat day unless I was allowed to. It was a refeed day. I didn't have cheat days. I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to do, stuck to my training program, and I didn't actually train properly for probably 3 weeks prior to comp. I couldn't train legs for like 4 to 5 weeks before like properly. I had to do like an alternative program because my hamstring and my sciatic nerve were causing me so much pain. I had to stop my HIIT. There were so many things that weren't ideal about prep and my training and stuff, and that was really hard too. But just the aftermath, like I was warned that prep was super hard and the aftermath was even harder, and I was like, this aftermath is easy. Like everyone was like to me, you're so skinny, you need to put on weight. And I was like, trust me bitches, I will be putting on weight. Like you don't need to worry about that. I'm gonna eat so much food, you don't have to worry. But it's not the fact that you can eat food. Like I can literally eat anything that I wanted now, but I don't. Like peanut butter is literally like my life, and it's all I wanted through prep because I was having macromac peanut butter, which I love, and I still have that every single day. But I just wanted normal peanut butter, like peanut butter and rice cakes, just like there's little things. And now that I can have that, I'm just like, like peanut butter. Like I went and bought so many jars of peanut butter when it was on sale because every time I was craving it in prep, I would buy it because I'm like, I can have this after. And now that I can have it, now that I know that I can eat it, I don't want it. It's really weird. Like if you've done a diet or you've done prep, you'll totally understand me. But once you're allowed to have whatever you want, the novelty kind of wears off. For a lot of things anyway. So yeah, it's so hard to explain to people, and it's not that I can eat, like I can't eat what I want, because I can if I want. Like I could flex diet it in, but it's just the mental game of looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, I don't have abs, I'm not lean, I've put on weight, like all of that kind of stuff. It's the mental game, it's the mental battle that I literally face every single day. And now I totally understand why people end up with eating disorders and binge eating or not eating enough. Like I literally was thinking about not eating because 2 weeks before I got into hospital, so it was like just before the 2 week mark, and I put on like 3 kilos, which is pretty normal as far as I'm aware, as far as what I've been told. Put on 3 kilos, and I was literally messaging my partner like, I'm not, like, I have to cut my calories today, I have to stop eating so much, like I'm just gonna not eat. And he was like, you can't do that. And it's literally like a mental fuck, because you eat so much food and you feel bloated and fat and disgusting, and you're like, I'll just starve myself. And that's how people end up with like anorexia and eating disorders like that, like being too skinny and not putting on weight, because you're just mentally, you're not okay. And if you've never done a prep, you honestly won't understand. And trying to talk to people like about it, like to the normal person, we look healthy. Like right now, I probably look good to you guys, but to me, these pants, like you can see my roll here, like I'm not pushing out or anything, but I have like no abs, as you can see. I'm blobby, I'm like fluffy, I'm bloated. And to me, like, I keep saying I'm fat, and I'm not fat as such, but I have more body fat now, which is normal. But I think the excessiveness of it and how quickly I gained it was a shock to me. And like I said earlier, I no longer have a coach. That was my decision. I'm not going to go into why I decided not to, but I had to make that choice. I needed to focus on my health, and yeah, ideally, like it's it's not what you should do probably. A lot of people are probably against it, but financially, health-wise, for the mental game, I just needed to do me, and things weren't working for me, so I made that decision to do it on my own. I'm not tracking calories, not counting macros, not weighing my food at all, not weighing myself, except for this morning, like when I had a freak out. I'm not doing a strict training program. My cardio hasn't been non-existent, but it's definitely been a lot less. I had to take 2 weeks off of gym. Well, I trained for like 3 days post-show, not in a row, but I trained for a few days post-show, and then I was like just over it, because gym became such a chore to me at the end of prep that I hated it. I literally hated the gym, and the gym was my happy place for so long. Like, to hate exercising, to hate going to the gym was like a really, really big thing for me. My arm is literally so sore, and I'm so puffed because I never walked this far ever. Yeah, it was horrible. So I spoke to a few people, and they're like, have time off. My sciatic nerve was not playing nicely, so I was like, okay, I'll have a break. Told my coach, he's like, oh no, I didn't tell my coach actually that I was having time off, but a few people that I spoke to in the fitness industry that I'm friends with, or that knew what I was going through, were like, it's not gonna hurt to have a few days off. So I had a few days off, then my chest pain got worse, my sciatic nerve got worse. I just needed a break, so I took a week off. So I had about a week and a half off gym, just under 2 weeks, actually a week and a half. And then when I went to the doctor, he recommended me have time off, so I did, had a little bit more time off. So I probably had about 2 weeks off of gym, which again isn't ideal. So I wasn't tracking food, wasn't counting my macros, wasn't doing anything, kind of eating what I wanted, but mostly eating healthy, and I wasn't exercising. So obviously weight gain, fat gain was inevitable. It was going to happen whether I liked it or not. But yeah, so that happened. What else happened? I did learn a lot from prep though. I'm just trying to think, because yeah, I was literally just like went on such a tangent the other day, but I definitely learned that people that you meet in comp prep are honestly like friends and supporters for life. Like, there were people that I met in Tropics that were honestly my biggest supporters up there, and it was so awesome to have people that I had just met supporting me more than people that I knew previously and that I thought would support me did, you know. Like, it's crazy the friendships that you can make, the people that you can meet. Like, I made so many connections through people that I've met and I've spoken to on social media, and then I've met them, and it's just so cool. Like, but I've also learned that you can't always trust people. Again, I'm not really gonna go too much into depth, but you can't trust what everybody says. You can't trust that people have your health at best interest. I obviously had a bad experience with towards the end of my prep, which yeah, I'll explain in another video. My partner Sam had really, really bad health issues as well, and he actually couldn't compete, which sucked, but that was because of prep. No matter what anybody says, it's because of prep. And one of my good friends actually ended up in hospital and was told she could have died basically because of prep and because of what her coach told her to do and to take. And it's really scary, and a lot of people don't talk about it. I don't know whether they're too scared to talk about it, or they just don't want to, or there's like legal issues or whatever, but you literally see comp prep everywhere on social media, especially on Instagram, and no one ever talks about the bad. Hey guys, sorry, I'm just chilling in my driveway because my phone decided to stop up. So what I was saying before is that literally on social media and everything, like, normally in life you hear about the bad before you hear about the good, but comp prep, I literally like never heard anything bad, no bad experiences, no this could happen, be careful of this, none of that. And there was actually one day when I broke down because of how I was feeling. It was the day that my doctor told me I had to go to hospital, so I drove myself home, got my shit sorted, and was waiting for Sam to come and take me to emergency. And I was on the phone to my mum, and I said, prep has literally ruined everything. Like, competing ruined everything. And I just, like, everything that I felt and all of my emotions towards the negative things and like few little experiences that I had throughout prep just broke me at this point. This was after like competing, and I just said to mum, like, I wish that I knew what I knew now before I competed, because I honestly would have reconsidered competing and would have thought about my health. Like when I was in hospital, the doctors asked me all these questions if I'm taking medication, and one of the questions they asked me was if I was on the pill, which I am, and I was during prep. And the doctor was like, do you know the health risks of taking the pill while extreme dieting, and you know that it can cause this and this and this? And I was like, no, I had no idea. And like, I had been on the pill prior to prep, but this was never brought to my attention. Obviously I didn't do any research into it either myself, because I'd been taking it for so long, and the people that needed to know what I was taking during prep and everything never told me. It was never brought to my attention, so that was really scary to think that because of something that I was taking, I literally could have ended up with like a blood clot, or my kidneys could have been ruined. And I think something that people forget is that the stage is always going to be there. Like for me, I really would like to compete again. I mean, next year I would love to compete. I would love to jump back up on stage next year, just because it was so fun. But mentally and physically, it's not going to happen. I'm definitely not doing it. The earliest that I would consider doing is 2020, but I'm thinking of doing a Europe trip that year. So I'm thinking more along the lines of 2021, with a different coach, a different approach to things, and I would definitely reconsider and make sure I'm 120% ready. I was 110% ready for this one, but things just didn't go to plan towards the end, obviously with injuries, health, those kind of things. So yeah, I would definitely like think about a lot of things before I was ready to jump back up on stage again, but I'm hoping to do 2021. So yeah, it's something that the average person can't do, and I never thought I was going to do it, never thought I'd be able to do it. And now that I am not dieting and stuff, I'm like, how the hell did I stick to macros and calories? Like, how did I diet for so long? How was my willpower so strong? Because as soon as you get off the bandwagon, it's so hard to jump back on. But and like training and stuff, training's fine, it's just my diet. Like, I'm eating clean, but it's just like, how did I say no to a biscuit, or to a Tim Tam, or to a piece of cake, or you know, to that cappuccino or latte? Like, just the little things that you forget about and like don't appreciate, and just having a home cooked meal, eating with my family, going out to dinner, like being able to go out to dinner if I want. It's just so many little things that we really do take for granted, and prep definitely has made me a lot more grateful and like appreciate food and everything so much more, because you're just a cranky bitch literally when you're on prep. Like, you're cranky, you're tired, you're hungry, you're just over everything, you hate everything. Like, gym's a chore, you hate going there towards the end, like I did, like I said earlier. Like, it's very full on, and I understand now why a lot of people can't do it and why it's not for everyone, because you have to be in it mentally and physically. You have to be on your A game 120% all the time. Like, it's insane. But I'm gonna jump off for now. I'll film an update in maybe like a week or two, and I'll let you guys know what happened and what led me to be in hospital. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update. Make sure you stay up to date with my day-to-day life on Instagram. I'll have the link in my bio. I'll also have my discount code for Obsessed Gym and Macro Mike as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.